Let's go.
Lock it up, baby. Nice and tight here. Let's go. Let's go.
Do work. Come on.
Get some.
Let's go.
What is happening, people? It is Brian Alsruhe with NEVERsate.com, and unfortunately, this is going to be my last Brian Shaw video that I'll be putting out. But do not worry, people. I will be going back to Colorado very soon, at which time, hopefully, Brian and I will be able to get some more footage. Also, between Brian Shaw's channel and Uncle Nick's channel, there's probably about 10 videos between all of us, so you should be able to see a lot of what went on during our trip. But as I've explained in my other videos, I actually did not get a ton of footage because I really want to be there for part of the experience more than just trying to get footage. And as much as I do want to experience that entire experience with you guys, and I really wanted you guys to be part of it, I didn't feel like shoving a camera in Brian's face all the time was appropriate. So I figured that I'd work on our relationship in hopes that I would get invited back again. We'll see how that went. Probably not good. But I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to live with Brian 3 times throughout the week, as well as spend virtually every waking moment kind of hanging out. So we got to talk a lot about training, and what I want to do for this video is just kind of overlay some of our last training footage, talk about the different training sessions that we had, and talk to you guys about some of the things that I learned from Brian Shaw about training. Now, I did end up doing a lot of technical stuff with Nick, and I know he's going to talk about that, but more what Brian and I talked about was principles of lifting. So I'm going to talk about a good bit of those while kind of overlaying some of our last workout together, because again, I'm not a good collaborator or a good sweater. So the first lesson and the first workout just so happened to coincide very, very well, because the first lesson I learned was to be humble, and then number 2, to always work your weak points. Now, the reason why this is so pertinent is because this is the second collaboration in a row where the very first thing that the people wanted to do was a grip challenge or gauntlet or something like that. Now, I've never been a grip guy because it's just something that has never interested me, because it's not something I'm naturally good at. Man, that makes you sound like a jerk when you say it out loud. But it's the same reason why I'm not good at basketball. Being 6 foot tall, I knew there wasn't a strong chance of me playing in the NBA, so I didn't really develop those skills. Same thing with my hands. So I have really wide, super wide, heavy hands that are made for fighting. That was my entire background growing up. But when it comes to making shadow puppets or squeezing heavy things, I struggle. So that is officially 2 collaborations in a row where I have had to eat a lot of humble pie and look very seriously stupid in front of a bunch of new potential subscribers. But as with all competition, I always try to win or learn, and in this situation I definitely learned, so I'm trying to add a lot more direct grip training into my workouts, as well as Brian was working the platform belt squat 13 inch deadlift. I don't know what to call it, it's on his channel. But the reason why we were working that is because that is a weak point for Brian that he wanted to address. It was also very, very nice for me because my hamstring being torn, it actually let me go in a range of motion where I could actually go on something heavy with someone like Brian Shaw without really sticking myself in that much danger. But Brian stressed it multiple times throughout the week, and he actually talked about it on his podcast, which we were lucky enough to be the first guest for, so you definitely want to check that out. But Brian stressed it multiple times throughout the week. He said if he was not good at something, he would almost become obsessed with trying to bring that area up. He would work on it all of the time and just work it, and it seemed to work for him. And the second thing that's really more like 2 different things, but I'm gonna call it one thing, is that every single workout, every single set, and every single rep is important. Now I'm gonna get more into the training aspect of what I'm talking about with that, but first I wanna talk about the loyalty, about how every single thing is important, and how if something is important to your training partners, then it better be important to you. I would honestly say the number 1 important thing in Shaw's gym, from what I observed, is loyalty. And you know, after having my own gym for a while, I'd have to say the same thing. Having people next to you that are positive, that work hard, that always have your back, that will be there no matter what, is beyond the most important thing that you can possibly have if you want to be a just great person in this world. You can't do it alone. You need awesome people around you. Now, Brian has done a really good job of surrounding himself with excellent people. 2 that I'm thinking of in particular are Derek and Lance. These are 2 guys that are part of his crew that work out with him multiple times a week, and they both live over an hour away. Like, it's a considerable drive for them to come and work out. Now, this was Thursday night, and actually Friday they had to weigh in for a strongman competition 3 hours away, and Saturday morning they were actually competing. So both these dudes are on deload. They had absolutely no reason to be at the gym, except that every workout, every set, and every rep is important. And if it is important to your training partners, then it's important to you. Those guys know that Brian had some stuff coming at competition, and he could really use the help, as well as they had no idea who we were in the world. However, as soon as we got there, Nick was going for his world qualifying entry thing. I don't know what it's called, but those guys were super supportive. Nick did not do anything. They were loading the bar for him. They were getting him hyped up. They were recording for him. They were doing absolutely everything for anyone that needed anything done. And they were the guys that were getting ready to compete. because it was important to other people and all they want to do was be supportive to those guys. And then that crew, just like my gym here, as soon as that shoe is on the other foot, everyone turns and helps the people who need the help. Whether you need to be at the gym or it's important to you or not important to you, it doesn't matter. If it's important to the team, it is automatically important to you and you do the sacrifice for it just as if it were yourself, and you'd be shocked at how quickly that will take you and your training partners to the next level. Now for the next workout, we had to fit it in after being at the Crown Mountain Strongman Championship, and Brian had to work the press mainly because he's getting ready for that in the contest coming up. And myself, Nick, and Dirty Andy were all going to work the circus dumbbell because Uncle Nick and I had the pipe dream of possibly pressing the Thomas Inch dumbbell that day. And also Brian had a bunch of the natural stones that he was using to get ready for the Arnold there, so I wanted to play around with those. Which was actually ended up being beyond cool to do because I think our rocks here on the Maryland East Coasty side are more pointy. I feel like as you go west, more water ran over things, you get more like river stones. Maryland has humidity and sharp things. But the best part about natural stones is every single time that you go to do a different stone, the process is different. You have different handholds. Your hips need to go different. You need to find different balance points. So it's like doing a puzzle every single rep, and to be honest, I could have sat there all day with those things and just kept messing around. But that's not really the point of this video. The point of this video is talk about the points that I learned with Brian Shaw. And we are actually still on that last point of every workout, every set, every rep matters. And Brian talks a lot about how your training is almost like a report card. Just like at the beginning of the semester, just like at the beginning of this goal, you have an A+, you have 100 points. It is your goal to lose. But every time you skimp on a rep, or every time you skimp on a set, or you beat out a workout, or you choose not to finish out your set of 5, or you only get 4, or you mess up your diet, or you don't get your sleep, or you don't do your recovery. Whatever it is that you are not doing, whatever you have decided to stick in your path to impede your way to this goal. Well, that takes a couple points off. You do it again, take some more points. You do it again, take some more points. The key to reaching any goal, just like acing any test, is preparation. If you prepare correctly, tests really aren't that hard. However, preparation isn't the most fun thing in the world, which is why we have participation trophies. And that is exactly why next time you're thinking about skipping a workout because you're tired, or you're skipping a meal because you're not hungry, or you're doing whatever it is that is taking you further away from your goals, you're either ingraining good reps or you're ingraining bad reps. Do not just get through stuff. Make sure you're moving yourself towards that common goal with all the decisions that you make throughout the day. And I can just about guarantee you that you'll be standing so much closer to that goal, or at that goal, or much further than that goal than you ever thought possible. But if you continually kind of play that game of, I'm not gonna do my homework, I'm not gonna study for the test, I'm not gonna do my recovery, I'm not gonna finish my reps, well, then we still have that participation trophy. Which brings me to my next point, which is to make sure that you have an intention for the workout and you're actually doing the thing that you planned on doing in the first place. So before each workout, Brian would kind of tell us like, yeah, we're gonna give 5s, but this is kind of something where you leave 2 in the tank, or the entire point of this workout is just focus on this weak point, or whatever the case may be. The point is that there was always an intention. Now I saw this intention acted out in 2 ways. Number 1, in that you need to be present with where you are. Do not get it twisted. Brian Shaw is a very, very busy guy with a lot of people trying to pull him in a lot of different directions. However, since his entire fame and his entire business, his entire paycheck relies on him being good at lifting, that needs to be a top priority for him. However, when your gym is in your garage where you have a newborn baby and another small child, and your wife is right there and you need to cook dinner, and there's people reaching out while you're taking videos, and there's people asking your opinion on what to stick on Instagram or whatever, that's a challenge. So for that reason, it was very, very clear that there was lifting time and there was talking time. And those 2 things didn't really get along. I'm not saying any of the guys are mean about it whatsoever, but when there was the occasional wisecrack or anyone started kind of rabbit trailing at all, everyone was very quickly to bring them back in and just being like, hey, let's focus on the dude in the arena doing the work right now. I know you're not currently going right now, but this guy is, and it's important to him, so he would just bring everyone back and just make it awesome for that person. And then also when I talk about intention, he was very, very specific to make sure that you were doing the thing that you were supposed to be doing. So I'm not really talking so much about technical stuff, although that was very much part of it. Like for instance, during our squats, Brian saw a little bit of thing that Nick could be doing better with his hips, so he actually took Nick over and worked with him for probably like 10 minutes. He really didn't have to whatsoever. It was just the coolest thing ever. But the entire purpose of him doing that was to make sure that Nick's intention for the day was staying where it was supposed to be. It wasn't about moving a bunch of weight. It wasn't about trying to impress the 4 times world's strongest man. It was about working what he was supposed to work and getting better. Brian said that so many times during the workouts, just get better. Do you want to get better today? Get better this set. He would say it all of the time. And he wasn't talking like trying to hype you up, trying to get you stronger, trying to make you more amped or whatever. He was literally saying, make yourself better this set. Fix something that is wrong, or get stronger, or learn your brace better, or whatever, but do not get through this set the same person who entered this set. Because as we stated before, every workout, every set, every rep is important. And then finally, and definitely the funniest thing that happened during the workouts the entire time for me personally, and the lesson that I learned, were that no excuses will really be accepted no matter what. Now trust me, working out with 4-time world strongest man, you try not to make any excuses that you can think of whatsoever. However, me being me, I accomplished to screw that up. So we had just finished up the squats on the video that you guys are watching, and near the end of my squats, I started throwing up pretty profusely. And sometimes when I throw up, it sounds very similar to a constipated elephant. So it's not like I'm hiding this fact. I'm literally lurching and making noise as I'm running out the garage door, where I proceed to puke a bunch. I come back in. Number one, not one person asked me if I was okay, which makes me happy because that makes me feel at home. Literally at my gym, I'll be mid-conversation, go throw up a bunch, come back mid-sentence, and nothing is ever said. Maybe that's not a good thing. Anyway, I walk back to the door and Brian goes, hey man, do you want to go on to this first assistance exercise? At which time I thought it was a great idea to say, dude, I've already started throwing up, so I'm gonna be in and out for the rest of the night, so whatever you guys want to do, I am in. But firstly, the look on Brian's face kind of looked like I may have killed a puppy. And then it switched over to sympathy, fake sympathy. At which time he said, well, we could pose. And I kind of didn't hear him, so I just kind of smiled and nodded, but make no mistake about it, he said, well, we could pose, as in bodybuilding pose. But at this point, I'm stunned and genuinely interested in what pose is. Has to deal with the posterior chain. At which time Brian Shaw does this. Literally, that noise and everything. That overplayed everything. It was absolutely hilarious. Now in that group, as well as our group, it's really tough to do anything wrong because you will get picked apart like crazy for it. So naturally, I did the smart thing and tried to defend myself, but while I opened my mouth, it was absolutely hilarious. Brian was not mean at all. He did not peer pressure me. He did not call me a wuss. He literally just did the one thing that I think probably would have bothered me more than anything else. Call me a bodybuilder. So yes, he had every right to be like, dude, you're in my gym, you need to suck it up and get this done, but instead, he literally just turned around, made it funny, changed the entire situation, and got me back on the horse, and I got right back in and had a terrific workout. So, guys, that was just a couple things I learned while I was out there. Like I said, I'm sorry that I didn't get more film footage or anything like that. It's just, there were so many cool things going on, and I was having such a good time that I really didn't want to stop it to pull out a camera. I know that's not being a good YouTuber, I know that's not being good at social media, but it is being a decent friend, which I was trying to be to Brian and Carrie and Braxton and Kellen and Andy and everyone else. Lane, Derek. What was the other dude's name? Wiles? Wasey. And Wasey, dude, I cannot remember your name. Strong dude though. I am a bad friend. Man, to each and every single one of you out in Colorado who just made our trip so amazing, to each and every one of you here back at home that allowed it to be possible, for whether it be coverage at the gym, coverage with Kona, coverage with absolutely everything. It was just so amazing and I had such a great time. So I just really want to say thank you to everyone. Guys, make sure that you go over to Brian Shaw's channel and you're subscribed. Make sure you go to Uncle Nick's channel and you're subscribed. I really won't know why you guys aren't subscribed to either one of them yet. I do thank you guys so much for everything you're doing. I am almost caught back up on programs, so if you guys did buy one, it may have taken me an extra day or two because of travel and everything else. So hopefully you have it. If you do not have it, make sure you email me. Just email me at NEVERsate@gmail.com. Guys, I thank you so much for everything. This trip was such an awesome experience and a dream, and it was so cool. So thank you guys very much to each and every single one of you who support me. I do next month, we'll be collaborating with Juju Mafu, and the month after that, I believe will be Alan Thrall and Omar Esoff, as well as Joey Satsmary. Seminar stuff is coming up. There are so many things going on, guys. I'm beyond busy, but I'm so happy. Thank you for everything. I will catch up with you later in the week. Until I do, I'm getting tired. Go out and do something amazing in your lives. Keep working hard. Be nice to each other. I need more oxygen for this talking. I'll catch up with you then.